It's amazing to me if we can bring in Mark Montgomery. Admiral, thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it. I mean, nobody can give us perspective like you can. When you look at the mission overall, and on the left-hand side of the screen, we are using some of these satellite images. We still don't know the totality of the damage that actually happened on the ground in Isfahan as you go through Fordo and Natanz and so on and so forth. But when you see the mission described to you, Admiral, you have got to be proud. You have got to think, wow, this thing was precise.
You know, I agree completely, Trace. I think it showed both a good, deliberate plan from the United States. I mean, a good mix of both air and naval assets. And, you know, that Air Force mission, you know, is a complex one, the delivery of a unique piece of ordnance that's only been used really in a testing capacity in the past, mixed with a more traditional weapon, the Tomahawk fired from the submarines. I think the other bit of integration we have to acknowledge here is how well the Israeli Defense Forces and the U.S. Central Command have integrated. So General Carrillo, working with his IDF partners, we knew exactly what the IDF had done at Natanz and Isfahan. You know, they'd taken out about 75% of each of those targets. We hit the rest of those targets, and we took probably, Isfahan was called inoperable a few days ago. I would now say it's much more fully destroyed. So this combination of U.S. and Israeli, this integration, both in intel sharing and planning and target selection, I mean, that is an impressive event, and I think General Carrillo at Central Command deserves a lot of the credit for that.
I want to come back to the table very quickly, Aaron Cohen, to you, because it brings back a great point, which is if they go after these sites from the air, which they did, and Israel has been primarily coming from the air, I'm wondering, because we have seen so many instances where you had people, you had Mossad, you had people from Israel inside Iran on many occasions. I'm wondering if there, you think, might be a plan for Israelis to be on the ground in some capacity in Iran to be able to check out these sites, to see if there's anything left that needs to be taken care of. Is there a plan, you think, for something like that?
I think that intelligence operations inside of Iran have been ongoing for years. I think they're continuously ongoing now. I wouldn't be surprised if there were reconnaissance elements on the ground. Look, with Israel, Trace, you know, it's showtime. Israel doesn't have the luxury of not being good. So I wouldn't be surprised if Israel's got multiple sets of IRGC uniforms, scientist uniforms, civilian vehicles that date all the way back to Entebbe by way of deception. So those intelligence assets in Mossad, Unit 8200, different special operations elements from Seret Matkal, which is another elite unit. I believe that they've been in there for a long time. They will continue to be in there for a long time. There's a lot of intelligence reporting in real time that had to be coordinated in order for those 6 monster bunker busters to hit that Fordo site, which meant that the coordination was massive. So to what the Admiral was saying, it all gets diluted onto a giant map that creates that precision to be able to get those bombs to hit accurately and to be able to coordinate that airspace with the intelligence, with the assets on the ground. This is months of preparation, Trace. And I think that 2-week window from Trump wasn't to buy Iran time. I think it was to give Israel and the general from CENTCOM enough time to get their ducks lined up.
It's a great segue because we're going to bring in former B-2 pilot Mark Wetherington. It really is. I mean, very few people have flown these pieces of equipment, which are magnificent beyond questioning. And I'm wondering, Mark, if you can give us an idea of how precise this mission had to be to do the job they did today.
Well, Trace, certainly the complex target at Fordo demanded incredible accuracy, and the B-2 is a unique platform. No one else in the world has this type of capability. It's coupled with the navigation solution on the airplane and the weapon to make it the most precise weapon we could employ. And so when you're trying to go that deep, that precise at Fordo to kill that target, that's the capability that you need.
When you hear the story, Mark, when you hear exactly what happened, how you had probably 3 of the B-2s going after the Fordo plant because they used between 5 and 6 of the bunker busters, does that track with you? When you talk about Tomahawk missiles being used to go after Natanz and to go after Isfahan, does that track with you from your experience of flying a B-2? Does all of that track? Is there something that you are questioning and would like more information on?
No, Trace, I think it comes down to the analysis of that target complex. What's the layout? What's the composition? How deep do you have to go? And certainly, what are the vulnerabilities? And the targeteers, the folks that weaponeered that target, that came up with a fantastic plan, I'm sure, looked at those vulnerabilities and decided how many weapons were needed. They may have attacked with other types of weapons as well, but certainly in this case, they decided that 6 of these GBU-57 weapons were required. You know, that's a 30,000-pound bomb, but 24,000 pounds of it is hardened steel. That's what gets it that deep. And 6,000 pounds of high explosives to do the damage once it's in that mission space. But it's a technology that nobody else in the world has developed.
And lastly, I'm just curious, Mark, when you heard that this mission had been employed today, were you surprised or not surprised?
I think a lot of people were surprised, Trace. I'll give a shout out to all the forces involved, the entire joint team, our allies and partners. Tremendous operational security, tremendous deception involved. I think everybody was focused the other direction. Everybody was focused several days down the road, and to keep, thousands of people involved, to keep that secret and to let this mission come off unexpectedly and to have the results that they achieved is a remarkable achievement.